Good evening, everyone. A warm Tuesday greeting to you all. I have just finished my crumpets, but more important than that, welcome back to 7th Gear Racing. We are here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. Tonight, I am joined in the comms box by none other than Lions. Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm great. I'd be better if I had some crumpets to accompany on this brilliant race around the Rebel Ring, but I am crumpleless today. But I'm very excited around the very fast-paced, very nice and swervy track that is the Red Bull Ring.
Yep, very nice. Only 10 corners to speak of. 9 if you don't count that rubbish turn 2 that isn't actually a turn. Austria, always a track that gives us some good racing. Weather looks like it's a bit overcast at the moment, so maybe we might see some rain later on. Looks like a lot of cars are definitely coming out anyway.
I hate to interrupt you there. I think we might be seeing a bit of rain already. I could just be seeing stuff, but on Alros's Ferrari, I think I might have seen 1 or 2 drops coming up that straight there. I'm unsure. It could have just been the game tripping out on me.
I'm on board and I can't see any drops just yet.
It could be a Cody's masterpiece already right off the bat, but
yeah, a lot of cars are out of the pits. We don't usually see this much action. This much action this quick. So who knows? But yeah, Aros back in his seat tonight after a couple of races off. He'll be looking to reignite his championship challenge.
I was just noticing on Alros's outlap here, he seems to be pushing, so he seems to be in a rush to get to that line on the medium tyre. So there might be a bit of rain on the way if he is trying to get to the line quick with everybody else out in trying to get their laps in as well.
Yeah, ooh, a little bit wide. Of course, Austria is a notorious track for track limits as well, so you could see a lot of drivers invalidating their laps tonight.
Indeed, yeah, you're carrying a lot of momentum into the corner, especially that first corner, where it's almost no brakes into the corner. You almost just lift off the accelerator. Be very harsh on the track limits, but you want to take on plenty of curb, but not too much. You see Alros here going to sector 2, again, plenty of curb entry, plenty of curb exit as well. But as I said, very, very tough on the track limits. And just another example of track limits, on this straight just out of turn 5, you're going to see a lot of curb on the exit and just pushing the limits of track limits there.
Yeah, you can see this year in the game, they've taken out a little white line, so you've got to be so careful not to go over it, otherwise it'll be invalidated. The time to look out for the pole record around here is a 102.933. I'm not sure we'll get near that tonight, because obviously that was a previous game's lap time. What can Aros do? A 104.3, which isn't bad for medium tyres. Who else is on our lap? So the hassle on that, but I imagine they probably invalidated if they didn't go. Yeah. A little note, Rhino, of course, he is, we all know and love, he is, invalidated his lap. He is using the wheel for the first time tonight, so good luck to Rhino. Your first race is always a baptism of fire. As Vaughan goes fast from the sauce for a 104.2. Rain, a 117.6 for Rain. His esports setup he's been boasting about, not doing him very well.
Terribly quick lap. That's more of maybe a DTM or a WRC lap around the Red Bull Ring.
Yeah, welcome back as well tonight for Perfect Paulie. It's his first race since round 1 of season 4. Always a favourite, Perfect Paulie. He's a very consistent driver. Hopefully he'll have a good race tonight.
It's like we're getting a bit of traffic already on the back straight. I'm not sure if it's just somebody's accident or people just trying to clear up space for their laps. But
look at that, we're barely into the session and everyone's out on track, bar I think 2 people. So is that rain coming?
I think it's always an issue as well with such a condensed track like Austria. Traffic is always going to be an issue, but even when everybody's trying to rush out to get their laps in before some bad weather comes in, traffic is it's terrible.
Right then, Elite Risk. You must have been. I looked down. He must have invalidated his lap, but it looks like he is going for another one. But Owen is currently your fastest man on the track, or 104.2. I think, given the pace of himself against Vaughan, I imagine that he'll be a bit disappointed with that lap. David and Cooper in the 17s as well, so 2 drivers in the 1 minute 17s. I didn't expect to say that tonight. As Kieran goes 4th for 104.3. So maybe that is actually a really good lap from, rather than that being a poor lap from Owen, maybe that is a very good lap from Vaughan. Yeah, he's currently ahead of Aros, he's ahead of Kieran. So yeah, that'd be good. See if Vaughan is up there. As Rhino sits at 105.2. He's obviously been practicing a lot on that wheel then with a time like that.
Let's see, not a massive gap between the times at the front, especially with Alros on the mediums. Not a massive gap, not massive enough to hop onto the soft. So I think it's going to be a close one here. I think we're going to see maybe a few last-minute laps beaten by a few thousands or a few hundreds.
Yeah, with a track like Austria, as short as it is, you're always going to see times just being very, very close together. What about Jacob then? As he crossed the line on those mediums, what does he do? Look at that, 103.9. That is a great lap from Jacob on those mediums. And that is a time to beat.
That's a medium lap as well, wow.
Yeah. Oh, and Jake, oh, he got a bit lucky there. I think Perfect Paulie came out of the pits just as Jake was coming around the first corner. So hopefully Jake didn't get too held up by that.
I'm just trying to think, where if the Owen and Vaughan on the sauce, where do you think, where do you think they lost the pace on their lap if Jacob's able to beat them by 3/10 on a medium? But Austria is kind of like, when you're trying to get every 10th out of the lap on Austria, you almost have to be surgical because it's such a small track. It's a very basic track as well. There's no complicated sections. I think Jacob just your car has to be on a rail almost and just find the perfect entry and exit. I think Jacob has found that on the mediums.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those tracks where you definitely cannot take your qualifying pace into the race, because if you do that, you're going to be spinning. As Jake invalidates his second lap, but he does a 1.5.0. Not a bad lap, but a second off the pace as it stands. But yeah, as you said, Austria track that if you hook it up, it's going to be a good lap. But one corner can be make or break in a circuit like this. So poles so far this season, 2 drivers hogging the limelight at the moment. You got Rain currently sitting on 5 pole positions, and Arthur sitting on 2. Can anyone break the stranglehold those who have on qualifying?
I think Jacob's definitely looking at that. If he's already beaten the runners on the sauce while he's on a medium tire, he's looking at that pole is looking very tasty for him. So
Rain, I tell you what, Rain invalidated his lap, but it was a mid 103s. So Rain, and look, he's cut the last quarter as well, so he can't even do this lap either. Oh, and I think that might be a second set of mediums wasted actually. So Rain putting himself under a bit of pressure as the lap climbs keep coming in, and look at that, Perfect Paulie up into P2. So yeah, good lap from him.
Might have taken his hiatus, but he's still getting the practice in and still getting the fast times in.
Yep, next man across the line. Looks like it's going to be Bio. Get to set a lap. What can he do? 104.3. Not a bad lap. Not a bad lap at all. As it looks like a lot of drivers are now abandoning that medium strategy. As Jacob looks like he's put a set of softs on for his next run.
Looks like we are losing a bit of that cloud coverage, so...
Yep, so the weather report is overcast for both qualifying and race. So we might get some rain, we might not. Either way, it's overcast. So read into that what you will.
That is courtesy of our beautiful weather lady, Jake, of 7Gur.
Yep. Thank you, Jake. I really know he's invalidated. What did he do? He did a 1.4.4, so that would have put him down in 9th. So, yeah. Arthur, you get to set a lap. Of course, your championship leader on the 128
Elite Risk spinning at the top of turn 1 there. Just caught that while...
Well, Elite Risk, you'd fancy him being one of the men that would possibly break the hold that Rain and Arthur have on these pole positions. Showing a lot of pace this year, Elite Risk, but... obviously being a bit greedy going into turn 1 as Owen. Ooh, a 103.7. Very good lap there from Owen. I'm sure
See
the
Jake's there as
IUF1
well.
crowd in the chat will be loving that one.
We can see if his teammate Jacob, who previously set the provisional pole on the mediums, is about to start his lap on the sauce. So see if he can get the gap just below his teammate Owen in the Alfa Romeo. He's already invalidated by the looks.
Oh, well, that's a shame. So it'd be good to see someone like Jacob up there, showing what he can do. As Kieran, has he just gone on to third place on those mediums? I
Yeah,
think he has,
you said as well, my word.
Wow, that is a stellar lap from Kieran. Is he back? Nobody knows. That is a very good lap on the mediums, and I think Austria. I think Austria's definitely a two-stop strategy, isn't it? Yeah, it's usually a soft medium or a.
Given the way you drive the
medium,
corners, I'd reckon it's a two-stopper. It would have to be, surely.
Yeah, 36 laps. I mean, unless you do, 12 on softs, and then you do, 24 on mediums, that's going to be stretching it a lot. David and Kuba, haven't seen him yet today. He's down there in 11th for 104.8 as it stands. Elite Risk set a really bad that time, but he's invalidated again, so he's got to be careful. Elite Risk, otherwise he's going to be left with no lap time. Aurelian invalidated again. Arthur, he's invalidated again. Safe Master, yet to set a lap. He is on a clean lap at the moment. Where's Rain? Rain's still there with his 117. I'm sure he can improve on that once he gets the lap together.
See, that's the thing about Austria. It's like it's not an outright tough track, but it's almost technical in the way that you drive it, how precise you have to be to really get those lap times. And just we see our drivers like Elite Risks and Arthur, some of the best lads in the division, just really trying to push the limits to get every 1,000 out of the corner that they can, and sometimes they just go over the limit. So it can be a really tough balance trying to find the exact point you should get through on the corners.
Oh, and Rain invalidates again!
Oh no.
He is not having much luck, is he? I think he's going to wait for Jake to go by and then start another lap. Or is he going to pull into the pits? No, he's going there again. Here he goes then. As we get the lovely camber angle from Cody's. Safe Master aborted that lap. In case you... oh, he's invalidated turn 1. Oh, dear Rain. He is... I tell you what, he's under pressure tonight, isn't he?
Very frustrating drive.
I tell you what, though, I would take this grid because right now we've got Rain, Elite, Risk, and Arthur down there in the bottom five cars. So I think for the chance to get the championship, I think this would be a good starting grid.
We also have a front row lockout so far from the Alfa Romeos, and I don't think it can be beat. I mean, Kieran in the pits, you have Paulie on his outlap, Vaughn perhaps maybe going for another lap on the sauce, but the front row lockout from the Alfa Romeos is looking very possible at this point. Oh, Rain on the spin. I think Rain just going for off the grip there. I don't know what happened there.
Yep, I think something we haven't mentioned yet as well is a lot of these corners are very traction heavy. So you've got the exit out of turn 1 and the exit out of turn 3. Very easy to light up your tyres and spin it and lose a wheel. Here comes Vaughn then. Oh, he runs wide. Oh, he escapes the invalidation. Does he improve? He does by less than a tenth. But 5th position then for Vaughn. For Vaughn. Whoa. What happened there?
Is he very excited about that Vaughn lap?
Whoa. I think my balls are dropping by 37 and my balls have finally dropped. Welcome to the commentary for Austria. an invalidation from K's. I'll tell you what, it's all going on tonight. All these drivers invalidating their lap times. Wow. Right, then Elite Risk looks like he's about to start a lap.
Keep it on the track, Elite Risk. Come on.
Yep. Keep it within the white lines. It's not that hard. Come on, guys, you're tier 1. Oh, he's
is it going to give it to him? No, okay, I think he just...
He's got away with it.
It's a dodgy one.
He's on track to beat his 131 so far. He's currently...
It's already 17 seconds ahead of his last time. We'll see the hats
that's a
of
hat
Rhino
in the
spinning
wall as
front
well. It's like Bio or Rhino. One of them, they're both on their outlaps. Right, then Elite Risk comes into Sector 2 then. Looking very good so far.
There's the next track limit section. Keeping it very neat. Oh, he's really set. He's finding the limits.
21.6 seconds up. So it's looking at a good lap so far. Let's see how committed he is in these last two corners. Quick shift down. Oh, he's gone wide.
Oh,
He's gone wide. Oh,
that's
no.
looking so good.
Oh, it was looking good, but he went wide.
He's 20. He would have put that would have been P2 from Elite Race. He could have split the Alfa Romeos.
What about Arthur then? Arthur approaching turn 4. Currently yet to sit a lap because of all the invalidations. What kind of lap time can he do? Oh, that was close.
That was very
well,
close.
Wasn't
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for the red.
Right on the edge, DC. Look at that. Right on the edge of the limits.
Here we go again.
Looks like
Another edge.
Purple sector 2. Right. Ooh. Right. How committed is he into the last corner?
Clean.
Will he downshift?
Oh, it's looking wide.
Downshift.
Oh, he keeps it. Maybe.
Oh, he does it. He does it. It's looking good. Just the line.
there.
Oh, there you go. 103.648. Arthur currently on a provisional pole with, well, my screen says a minute and a half, which means we've got at least 2.5 minutes to go. So, I think that's probably, actually, he could do one more run if he's quick and gets back to the pits. But that is likely him done, as Owen is up on his time. Not quite going to have to beat, not quite good enough. Decent lap, but nonetheless. Right, who else is on that? Rhino's invalidated. Bio has just started a lap. David and Kuba, looks like he's a 10th up. That's not going to trouble the front runners. What about Rain then? 13 seconds up.
Come on, Rain.
Oh, that's all. So far, it looks like he's in the 14 so far. Can he keep it up with the white lines? Oh no, he's done it. Oh no, Rain! Oh no!
Oh, Rain.
Oh, it is not happening for Rain.
It really isn't. As he sits on the finish line.
He's got to be careful, otherwise he'll be disqualified.
I think he doesn't care at this point. Or is he waiting for?
Just trying to not get in people's way. Oh, don't hit the ball! Turn the wrong way. Oh dear. Oh, and Elite Risk is invalidated again as well. So, just like I think you were with me in were you with me in Portugal when you had Rain and Elite Risk at the back of the grid, or was that King?
Yeah, no, I was there. That was the
yeah. So and Rain went from last to 8th in one sector. So I imagine he'll be hoping for a repeat of that tonight. As Elite Risk, he's done. Qualifying is officially over.
Yeah.
Aurelian yet to set a lap as well.
Rain trying to keep donuts for the crowd.
Yep, the top 2 aren't going to improve. What about Jacob? He is currently down on his time so far. So it looks like he won't be improving. But it is the end of the session now. So if you're on a hot lap, this is your last chance. Is that Aurelian ahead of Jacob as well? Set on lap. Or is that Safe Master? Is it Aurelian?
Jacob's lap here.
It is 11th. Jacob's second. He improves by a half a tenth, and he jumps his teammate. So we've got a Alfa Romeo 2-3 on the grid. Kieran doesn't look like he set another lap actually. He went out again on those mediums. Bio up into 5th position then. The man from Tier 2 currently leading the way in P5 there. Well done for Bio on that lap. And that looks like that is it. As Rain, the last guy on a lap, he'll be...
the tyres might be a bit hot at this point, I think.
Yeah. Shame for Rain, but back at the grid with Elite Risk. Arthur, his championship rival at the front. Arthur looking for his 5th win of the season today.
It's looking very strong after that. Pretty much clinical. Oh!
And Ray decides to take his frustration out on the wall. What did that pit wall ever do to you, Ray? There's innocent pit crew sitting there, eating their lunch.
Did you get that perspective where he rolled over 3 times there?
I had it on the TV camera, so I didn't quite get all of it, but it was... I
was watching from his TV pod. He hit the wall, and I believe he got hit from another car behind him when went for a tumble.
Right then, Lions. And take us through the grid order for tomorrow. Or
So
tonight, I
in
should say.
pole position we have Arthur with a 136, a very rapid lap, but just hot on his heels we have XRL Jacob with 136, only 1600s behind him. Then his teammate Owen in the other Alfa Romeo with 13,700s behind him. And Kieran P4, Bio P5, Perfect Polly on the return with P6, Vaughn P7, F1 Safemaster P8, Phantom P9, Rhino P10, Aurelian P11, Alros P12, K's P13, Jake P14, David and Cuba P15, Rain P16 after a bit of unluckiness. And speaking of unluckiness, we're starting in the back of the grid at P17 is Elite Risks.
Yep, and we said that it was a short track, and less than 8 tenths separate the top 13. So, yeah, we're in for a barnstorming race. As long as Arthur doesn't run and hide. And as is qualifying, it looks like it's a very overcast start. And I will... Oh, and look at that. Kieran starting on the mediums in 4th position as well. That'll be interesting to see what he can do.
Oh yeah, he said that P4 lap in the medium. That's a pretty rapid lap for a P4.
Yep, let's just tune into Tier 1 chat and see what time it says. Jake already up. 21:07, so we've got a couple of minutes.
So predictions for this very wild lap or very wild race of Spielberg. What are you saying?
Well, you know I love making predictions. I mean, in his current form, he'd be a silly man not to bet on Arthur, given he's on pole and his 2 main contenders are sitting there down in last and second last. But here's hoping the 2 Alfa Romeos can put up a fight, see what if they can bring the fight to Arthur. Kieran, obviously, another one to watch out for on that alternate strategy, see what he can do on those mediums. What about yourself, Lions? Anyone take your fancy?
Well, I know we have Arthur sitting in pole position after that spectacular lap, but it did take him quite a while to get that lap in. So I'm looking at consistency for this track, and the most consistent during qualifying was Jacob. He was just constantly staying on track, constantly keeping it clean. That's very important in Spielberg, as we've discussed. So, but he has got his teammate right behind him. So, what do you think? Should he race his teammate? Should he try keep it clean with him? Should he go for it all? I mean, let's say touch wood. Let's say if Jacob he's not having his race, and let's see if let's say Owen, who's obviously a championship contender, if he has the pace, do you let him pass? Do you keep fighting for the race win?
To be honest, I don't think there's any team orders, but of course Owen has the most to lose. Currently sitting in 3rd in the championship on 75 points. Of course, he won't want to get tangled up. I'm sure there will be some cooperation if one driver thinks he's slower than the other. I'm sure they'll let each other by. But I think for the first couple of laps, it'll be anyone.
We do have that turn. Now, this is where we're going to get mixed up. I was about to say turn 2, but it's technically turn 3. But turn 2 on this track is not a turn, and that is a hill I'll die on. So turn 2/3, we'll say, or 3/2, that almost hairpin-like turn at the top of the hill. That is an accident waiting to happen. You've got a very fast straight into an almost sudden stop with a low grip corner. So who knows what's going to happen on that corner? Could see one of the front runners get tangled up. Could see a pile up in the midfield. Could provide perfect opportunity for Rain or Elite Risks at the back to jump forward a few places. But with any race in 7GR, who knows?
Yeah, and we have readied up, so we've got to jump at 20 seconds before we go for the formation. That interesting. Everyone outside the top 10 is starting on the mediums. So just a 9 drivers starting on the softs then. So we've got half the field on softs and half on mediums. So hopefully that will make for a good race.
So sure, I mean, tyre strategy, it's we only touched on it quite in qualifying, but it is almost a no-brainer in Austria. It's always going to be a 2-stop, just the way the track is built. So don't think it's a question or a wild strategy to start on the mediums if you're outside the top 10.
Yep. Alright, let's just get these I don't understand why these have to reset between qualifying and the race, but that is back on. We'll leave it on positions changed. Yep, again, quick shout out to Rhino, P10 on his debut in terms of using the wheel. So, looks like he's continued where he's left off in terms of pace. Jake down there in 14th. I don't think he'll be happy with that. Our Lord and Saviour. He'll be wanting to do a little bit better.
Our weather lady.
Yeah. And of course, it's going to be very intriguing to see where Rain and Elite Risk to go, because despite there being 3 DRS zones around this track, it can be quite difficult because the straights are quite short. So it could be quite a struggle to see Rain or Elite Risk come through the field. And of course, someone we haven't mentioned is Alros. Alros down there in 12th as well on his return. So we've got Alros, Rain and Elite Risk all outside the top 10 today.
Should have some excitement at the back of the grid then, but saying just as you were saying with the DRS, it's very tough to chain them together, even though they're right next to each other. But you're going to have a very high DRS or ERS, just the way you're breaking into the corner. So it's easy if you're getting under threat from a DRS attack, very easy to defend, especially down that first straight just after the pit straight. But it's also up that hill provides a perfect opportunity for an overtake for light braking if you're brave enough.
So the game reckons that the fastest strategy is a one stop, with the softs pitting between lap 15 to 17. So it'll be interesting to see if Arthur can go that long on the set of tyres. Right there, the grid is lined up. Okay. I've got to stop yawning. Wait for the lights to go out. We have 5 red lights and we are go! It looks like a fantastic start for Jacob. Bit of a sluggish one by Arthur by the looks of it, but he is going to get P1 into turn 1. So yeah, Arthur keeps it, as it looks like we haven't got any spinners just yet, as the turn 1 looks like everyone... Oh no, there's a throw at the back of that, David and Cooper. Having a bit of a tangle. We're going to turn 3 then.
David and Cooper and Jake.
Is that a Williams going a bit on there? But it looks like everyone is surviving so far. It looks like it was Jake and David and Kuba caught up in that turn 1 incident. But it's as you were at the front, Arthur P1, Jacob P2 and Owen in P3.
We already have Rain up 5 places into P11. Make that 6 places up into P10 after he passes Rhino.
Yep, we said watch out for Rain, didn't we? Elite, as he gets P9 as Phantom runs wide. So look at that.
He's looking at P10 from Bio, and it looks like he's going to have it, as Bio, I believe, took some front wing damage in the first corner. And that is Rain up 8 places since the start, not even 1 lap in.
So Rain's the question mark challenge is going very well. From 17th to P8 in 1 lap. That takes some doing. So yeah, I think that's Rain putting himself right back in contention for the race win. We're only on lap 2. There's 35 laps to go. And he is currently eyeing up perfect Paulie for that 7th position. I think we also to keep an eye on Kieran as well, didn't we? He's obviously the first person on those mediums. So you see how he can keep up. He's almost a second behind Owen already. So of course those mediums will come into clutch once the soft tyres start to... It'll probably be about lap 10 before I think we see Kieran have any kind of advantage, because this track isn't very notorious for tyre wear, I should say. So probably won't be till lap 9, lap 10 before we see Kieran kind of making inroads on those soft runners.
It's noticed as well, we have a massive train from Phantom down to well, I was going to say down to Aurelian there before he went into the pits there, but it was they were almost within a tenth of each other each of them going along there.
Yep, and Phantom getting a 3-second time penalty, the first of the day. As I said earlier, expect to see loads of those time penalties, as Austria is quite harsh when it comes to track limits. As Rain has a look at Perfect Paulie into turn 3, but doesn't think anything against it. He's now got the DRS active, but this is where the DRS train starts, as it looks like Jacob has taken the lead, and Arthur is down into P2. That is something we wasn't expecting to see this early in the race.
Look, he's staying hot on his heels. If he can keep up the grip through this next sector, he might have an opportunity to attack with the DRS down the pit straight.
Yeah.
Look, he's dropping back a bit though. I think Jacob might just be getting the cleaner lines through these corners.
Yep, call for dirty, affected Arthur right now. If you look back from Jacob, Arthur will have the benefit of DRS, and look at the early closing speed already.
Oh, Arthur getting very close for
one.
comfort with Jacob. DRS
Now,
is on.
the trick here is to stay behind. You'll get as close as you can. The white line is there.
I'll break him. Ooh, not quite, no. He's not going to... I assume he's waiting for the next
zone
one.
for the straight.
Yeah, there we go
There we
again.
go, then.
And the DRS is on this time.
Aros up at the P9 now, but look at that. Jacob using hardly any ERS, and he's able to keep Arthur behind. And these front three have now dropped Kieran by almost 2 seconds already. Those mediums not yet worn into the track.
And Owen catch it up on the back of Arthur. Arthur in a very uncomfortable Alfa Romeo sandwich right now that he might want to escape. He did have the opportunity on Jacob, but he appears to be dropping back again, and Owen is in the position to overtake now. Will he get it done on this next lap? He might. He has almost a full battery of ERS, so he might be looking for the lunge up the inside in the next few corners here.
Yep, Rain is currently at the back of this Kieran train, but it looks like he could be making a move on perfect. Paulie, will he have a look at turn one? No, he does not. Aros sets the fastest after the race then. He was he's about 3.5 seconds behind now, so if he keeps that pace up,
and
he'll
we have
be
Owen
on
on
the
the
back of
outside
that
of
train in no
Arthur.
time.
Not quite brave enough, but it might be happening to the next corner. Very close here. Can Arthur do much? Not quite. Looks like Owen has the inside line. Make it stick. Red Bulls don't have a great look around the outside of that corner, and he manages to keep it on the track.
Good racing there from those two then. Owen, the last of the late breakers there, so we now have an Alfa Romeo 1-2. What can Arthur do to get that position back? As is that Elite Risk going the wrong way? It is. Elite Risk, he's lost his wing as well.
Oh no.
Oh dear, and that is not ideal for Elite Risk. Starting on those medium tyres, that is going to be tough to see what tyre is going to go on. He could effectively do 2 soft runs from now, but the question is, does he have any fresh soft tyres after qualifying? Back up the front then. Jacob looks like he's coming under pressure from Owen. Wonder how much resistance, we talked about this earlier, but wonder how much resistance Jacob will put up against Owen. But it looks like Jacob gets a very good run out of turn 3, but look at the close speed of Owen. Will he have enough to have a look? No, he does not. So Jacob stays up into P1. As Kieran has now, look at that, just like that, Rain is up into P6. He's
not waiting around. He is not waiting around at all.
Perfect Paulie's fallen back a bit as Auros has made his way past Safe Master, so I wonder if there's a little incident there. I think Rain was P8, wasn't he? So he's... Oh, and Rain's got past 4 now as well. I think maybe a bit of team orders come into play there. As Rain, as we start lap 8, he has gone from last to 5th. That is an amazing race so far for Rain.
He looks pretty competitive against Kieran here as well. He's catching him. He's within DRS range, so you might have Kieran in the next 2 laps here. So Rain roaring to the front of the grid. Oh! Just as I'm speaking about, he nearly comes into the back of Kieran there. I'm pretty sure he avoided damage, but it was millimeters away from the back of Kieran's Mercedes there.
Yep, Rain has got his eSport set up on. Hopefully. Well, I don't say hopefully, but maybe we'll see. Is that the difference? We know that setups can make a big difference to these cars and how the way they handle. It's going to be very close. Back up the front then briefly, before we forget about these 3. It's still running... Oh, Owen's up into the lead. We missed that then. I didn't see the arrow, so Owen is up into P1. I wonder if that was a bit of strategy from the team, but it looks like... these three are pulling each other along at the moment, which is definitely what we want to see. I was a bit worried that possibly Arthur could kind of run and hide away, but thankfully Owen and Jacob proved me wrong, as they currently sit 1 and 2 in those Alfa Romeos.
Well, Jacob is going for the overtake here on Owen, so I think that answers the question of is Jacob going to let Owen race his own race and keep his position for the ramifications on the championship?
Do you know what? I saw a McLaren spinning on the mini back, and it was Phantom. It wasn't Elite Risk this time.
And Jacob just passes Owen for the lead there. Arthur almost overtook Owen there, so Owen's dropping back a bit. Arthur is still in position to take that P2 off Owen.
Yeah. Rain has also got past Kieran. And Vaughan has also got past Kieran, so Kieran fallen down 2 places, and Rain is up at the P4. He is now only 2 seconds after starting at the back. I'm starting like a broken record at the moment. After starting at the back, he is now 1 point. He is just over 2 seconds behind the leader,
and that gap is coming down incredibly fast as well.
He is, that's a fast rate of knots. That is amazing. But one thing with Rain, we know that he's very susceptible to a penalty, as Owen and Jacob get very close.
Owen going wide on the inside line. And Arthur's looking for it as well. Can Arthur do the cutback on the inside? Not quite, but he's going to have plenty of opportunity into this next corner.
With these 3 battling, it gives Rain the opportunity to close in as Owen goes for the lead. Jacob gives him the room.
Oh, the Alfa Romeo's getting very cozy. Jacob just manages to stay ahead.
And just like that, Rain has taken half a second, more than half a second out already. He's just, look at that, he's already in DRS range. Oh, I tell you what, this is like Formula 1 versus Formula 2 drivers at the moment. This is outstanding stuff for Rain, especially on the slower tyre as well. This is, I think I may have to take this tyre. Set up off
and Jacob goes into the pits.
Jacob, yeah, that is an early pit stop indeed. We'll stay with him to see what kind of tyre he goes for. Will it be the medium, or will he go for the hard? Or is it another set of softs for a 2-stop? It is the medium. So, interesting strategy there from Jacob. Let's see
Arthur
where he
take
comes
that
out.
P1 position from Owen even before the corner.
Yeah, so Jacob comes out in P9, so he does have a little bit of clear air as well. Well, it looked like Owen got a very frisky there, getting out of shape. But, Rain up into P3, then he's on the podiums. God. Aros then up into P6. Excuse me. Elite Risk down there in 14th at the moment, unfortunately for him. He's bleeding points to Arthur tonight in the race for the championship. Definitely not what he would have wanted. Up into P12 then, as I think Safe Master has unfortunately disconnected from the lobby. Jake.
I think Owen's under threat here from Rain. I think Rain might have him on the next DRS straight.
Yeah.
It's looking like it.
But it looks like Owen does have a little bit more straight line speed. They both have their DRS, and it looks like Owen's got a little bit more, but look at the close speed of Rain. And again, look, you can just see Owen's got a tad more straight line speed. We know Rain is running quite high wings here. As off camera, Owen has got past Arthur. I forgot his name for a second. And Arthur's lost another one. Down to P3.
Oh my
so
gosh.
Look at that. Owen P1, Rain is P2, Arthur now P3. Dear me. We're following him in car, and just like that, he's in the lead.
And Owen's going to have Rain, no DRS, so P1 is pretty much Rain's if he keeps up this pace.
That is right, and I tell you what, it's going to take a fast person to stop Rain on this. I tell you what, the only person that can stop Rain tonight is himself, and we know that Rain is quite liable to a spin. He's been okay so far. He's proved that he's a racer. Now, can he get that P1? Will he have a look at the turn 1, or will he save it for turn 3? No, he doesn't have a look. Will he have a look up the hill into turn 3?
Don't think there's a whole lot Owen can do here, to be honest. He's keeping the DRS off, funny enough. I think is he trying to just stay behind. Broken.
Oh, do you know what? He goes up into the lead. Oh, and
Arthur's looking for it as well.
Oh, they're bumping wheels. It was smart from Rain because he just Oh, it's all going on here. I don't know. We're not very good, getting very good camera angles either, as Arthur challenges for the lead going into turn 4. But Rain is officially got a new race leader.
15
From the back of the grid, to first in 12 and a half laps. Oh, that is a drive and a half.
I can just imagine if you're Arthur, you're chasing the 2 Alfa Romeos. You think you're home free. You think, okay, it's just me and the 2 Alfa Romeos, and suddenly there's another Honda badge in your rear view mirror out of nowhere, and it's Rain just roaring forward from the back of the grid, 15 places up and not even halfway yet through the race. It's insane stuff from Rain.
It is indeed, but now Rain will be the one that comes under attack as we come on board with Owen to see Arthur overtake, and I think Arthur's made the mistake. This is what Rain did last lap. He waited to the last second to overtake, so now Rain is the one that gets the DRS, and he'll be the one favourite. We've seen these two come to blows before in the season. And this
It's
time,
close.
Arthur breaks a little bit later, but it looks like Rain's got the better traction and the better grip at the moment as they go side by side into turn 5. Oh, it's never ending.
Switch back from Rain, but not committing to the corner.
No. Let's come on board with Rain then. He's trying to put Arthur off. Oh, it's just the way they chuck it into the corner. If I did that, I'd spin it.
Oh.
Look how close he is. Surely.
If I came anywhere near that pace, the car's gone.
Oh, look at that. Rain not using the DRS. He's not deployed it. Will he deploy it here? He does. So he's on the attack. Rain is on the attack as Jacob sets a 105.7, the fastest lap, going for the undercut. As Rain, as he moves, see, look at that again, the white line. You saw the white line. He stayed behind on purpose to get the DRS. This is where he wants to make a move, but it looks like Arthur's got the better traction out of turn 3.
Do you go for the lunge?
No. Rain stays behind, but he opens himself up to Owen, sorry. These three running line of third. Jacob up into P6 then. The clear air is still there for him.
Just worth a mention as well, we have Alros into P5 from P12, 7 positions from the start.
Yeah. Alros having a very good, quiet race. Less than a second behind Kieran, actually. Of course, Kieran's tyres are those couple of laps older, because obviously Kieran qualified in those, so Arrow's tyres are completely fresh, where Kieran has done a couple more laps. And we are now in the territory of the one-stoppers for the soft tyres, so Arthur and Owen will be in any time now. And as I say that, Rain is right on the back, and Owen closing in as well. Knows what he's doing. There you go, there's that white line, it's so close to the corner. Who gets the better exit? It looks like Arthur's done okay so far, but Rain looks a little bit closer this time.
I'm not quite sure what he's doing with his DRS there. He seems to be waving it almost at Owen.
Yeah. he's definitely using it strategically, isn't he? Maybe he's waiting for Arthur to pit and then do a kind of a Michael Schumacher stint of just firing in fast lap after fast lap, because theoretically, if Arthur pits now, Rain will have about 5-6 laps max to put in some good laps before he goes onto those softs.
DJ, it doesn't look like Arthur's. It wasn't looking to pit there, but pit entry to Austria is a very strange one, so I think we'll know well before they head for the pit. But 16-lap-old sauce around Austria, surely they can't be lasting for much longer.
No, the window is open, as I just said, for the soft runners. So this is where the mediums will have an advantage. And look at that, he's coming under attack from Rain. Owen thinks against it.
Did he? Was he ahead? No. I think he managed to pass him, but just after the line.
Cool. Precision driving there from Rain as he takes the lead. And I tell you what, if I was Arthur, that would be my cue to go into the pits, put a fresh set on, and try and get the undercut. Because when Rain pits, he is going to be on the softs, and he is going to be even faster than he is right now. And Jacob P6. So let's have a look at the leader then. So Jacob is currently... Look at that. Jacob is only only 8 seconds off the lead. As there you go, both Arthur and Owen jump into the pits. Look at the undercut on that, Jacob. 8 seconds. What's the pit stop around here? About 20 seconds, 22 seconds.
I'd say 20 is fair, yeah.
That is a massive gain on Jacob's part as he now puts himself up into P4. As look at that. Let's see how much time he's gained then. So he is. Wait for Arthur and Owen to get out of the pits. So he has gained 9 seconds, 10 seconds even, sorry, on Arthur. That is phenomenal. But of course, the question is, will Jacob be pitting again, or is he going to risk it, that chocolate biscuit, and go to the end of the Grand Prix?
Oh, surely he has to pit. I mean, that's going to be a task and a half to drag those mediums to the end. I'd say if he's comfortable with his lead, he has to pit for a pair of softs, but I don't know. I think it's going to be situational. If he thinks he can drag the mediums to the end, sure, why not? But surely the plan A has to be to pit for the softs.
Yeah, and Aros then up into P2. Then Aros has got past Kieran. So Aros just 3.5 seconds off the lead. Kieran just tagging along at the moment. I have to be honest, I was expecting a little bit more from Kieran today on the alternate strategy. We've seen what Rain can do on those tyres, as Kieran does look like he's going to go back up into P2. Aros almost you in that position because he knows that he'll get the DRS on up into turn 4.
We've seen a lot of big gainers today. We've seen Kays go up 8 positions into P5. We've seen obviously the man of the moment so far, Rain, go up 15 positions to P1, and then Alros up into P3 after starting in P12. So very interesting strategies and race going on today.
Important move for Arthur then on those fresh mediums. He has overtaken Vaughan. Owen is still behind Vaughan, so he's looks like advantage Arthur at the moment in terms of the undercut. Have a look down the field. Arulian currently sitting in P10. Last of the points playing positions. Elite Risk outside the top 10. And P11, Perfect Paulie on his
Arthur
return.
just having a bit of a loss of grip there, almost a spin on the second last corner behind Kays.
Yeah. Well, if you're Arthur, do you look in front or do you look behind? I think right now Arthur's looking ahead.
Oh, a bit of contact.
So close. K's on those old medium tyres. Hopefully that hasn't given Arthur any damage, but we've got 4 cars, all racy, all on fresh tyres apart from K's, as Arthur makes it look easy to get past K's there, as K's now will be coming under pressure from Vaughan on his fresh softs. And look at that from Vaughan, that is easy as you like, and Owen now is behind K's and Vaughan, so Arthur now has 2 cars between himself and Owen. And that could just be the breathing space he needs to take the battle to Rain. As always, Owen, look at that.
I was going to say,
if there ever was one. That was a very bold move from Owen there. Very well done there. And he's kept it clean. And he's up at the P7. So just the 1 car then between Arthur and Owen.
Well, see, we're seeing a massive change of the grip there just from Owen just slingshotting past Kays there. Kays on the older tyre. So grip is massively important around this track, especially those kind of back and forth corners in the second sector.
Yep, we've got a yellow flag. I don't know what's happened there. Has there been a
Ferrari
Is that David and Kuba? He's not having a great race today, is he? Shame for David and Kuba. He's usually one that's up in the top 10, so not having a good race himself today. As Bio has pitted to get rid of those mediums. I wonder if Rain will pit this lap then. We're on lap 20. So this is basically where you want to be. But the question is, see Arthur, see look at that, he's only 15 seconds behind Rain, and Rain is staying out again. So the undercut is definitely powerful around here, as Rain gets the benefit of DRS as he's lapping Safe Masters AI. There's another time penalty for Jake there out the back. Jake, another one having a bit of a torrid race of it. Jake, he's had a solid season so far. Jake is P7 in the standings, but tonight not going his way. Fastest lap currently held by Jacob, 105.7. Doing very well for himself, and of course, he does have that 9-second gap over Arthur.
Now, I didn't want to jinx it, because I know I've jinxed it in the past with talking about it, but by the looks, now touch wood, by the looks, it looks like we've had a fairly clean race today so far with no major incidents, so hopefully we can keep it up. We've had some brilliant racing from the boys up front. Regardless of a few penalties, we've had some clean racing, but again, touch wood,
yep.
You can't blame me. Disclaimer, this is my commentator curse coming off.
And just like that, Jacob up into P2 as Alros will pit and get those mediums off. And Rain's in the pits as well. So now the question is, how far does he come out behind Arthur and Owen? Because we've seen how powerful the undercut is here today. On the softs they go. Look at all the cars filtering by. He's P5, so it's not too bad in terms of positions. But behind the leader, he is currently 12 seconds behind Jacob. So it's not too bad actually. He's only lost about 3 seconds to Arthur. So on those fresh tyres, on the fresher, faster, soft tyres, this is Rain's moment to shine.
It really is, and he has been shining the whole race, so he's on the fresh sauce. We saw what he can do on the mediums, so I think we're going to see the continuation of the masterclass from Rain here.
Yeah, and what will also help as well is because you've got Arthur, Owen and Vaughan all fighting for that P2 at the moment. And that will only help Rain in his quest to catch up, and look at that already. Rain is already only a second behind the cars in front. What kind of drugs is his car on tonight? That is absolute stupendous speed. That is just, I can't even, it's unfathomable. I don't even know that's even a word. But
yeah, exactly. It's just the type of speed that leaves you speechless.
Yeah, let's just go on board with Rain. Let's see how much faster he is. Obviously, he is now in the DRS train, but Rain right back in this race then. Within a lap of being 4 seconds behind. Was case at the fastest lap. I wonder if Vaughan will move over and let his teammate by. Or will Vaughan want the glory of a podium in Tier 1? We saw, I think it was last season, I think it was Vaughan who won in Tier 1. A bit unexpected. There you go. Vaughan moves out the way. A great team play there from Vaughan. As now Rain beckons down on Owen and Arthur. So the top four now, about 10 seconds as Jacob, he's got to do another 13 laps if he wants to pull off this one stop. But we've seen the most laps so far being about 20 laps on those mediums.
Rain is already nearly passing out. He was wheel to wheel to him on the last corner there, so Rain is already nearly back in the podium position.
Yeah. Just look at the traction out of the corner. But as we've seen today already...
are we going to see 3 wide into the corner? It's looking like it.
This cannot end well. Oh my god, what a move by Rain. The last of the late breakers and up into P2. What a move from Rain. I'll tell you, that takes some doing. The confidence in him, his car, and the confidence in the other two drivers not to collide. That was absolutely tremendous. What a move by Rain.
Nothing short of spectacular, and that's what he's been driving the whole day. Just absolute on the edge, no fear, just pure bravery, pure skill from Rain. And now he just has Jacob ahead of him with P1.
Yeah. Is that Jake going slow, or is he just being lapped? I think Jake's just being lapped. Right then, Jacob in the lead by 8 seconds. He's already lost a second in the last lap to Rain alone. And there you go, Rain, despite having to overtake 2 cars, has set the fastest lap of the race. And look at that, he's already almost a second ahead of Arthur already.
Yeah, it's just, I was trying to think of, just as I was watching right there, we have David Kuba spinning again, unfortunately. But it's nothing short of brilliance from Rain. Like, there's very little you can do to counter pace like that. And I think Rain knows it as well, that he's on beyond top form. I think if you're Jacob now, I think you start sweating bullets almost just with you're seeing the double overtake that you pulled, and then that time just chip down smaller and smaller and smaller. Is there anything? Is there anything Jacob can do here? Because he's on the soft, so he's on the medium. Sorry, excuse me. He has a lot of laps to bring them home. He's going to be out of the grip soon enough. So.
Ooh, and there you go. That will help. 3 seconds to rain then.
Oh no!
First
Just actually.
to get the time penalty.
Oh, we have Phantom hitting the wall there. Just riding on board with Jacob.
And I tell you what, one thing we haven't mentioned yet is the safety car. No VSC and no safety car yet. So 17 starters, and we still have 17. I think Safe Martin has left the lobby, unfortunately. Unless, yep, no, his car's still invisible. So yeah, no VSCs or safety cars yet. I think, going back to the original point about Jacob, I think now, like I said, I think we saw Aros did 20 laps on the mediums, which would take him to lap 31. So he would have to do about 25 laps on those mediums, which isn't beyond the realms of possibility, especially if he wants a podium, because I think right now, if he pits, I think he definitely won't win. Right now, his best chance of staying on that top step of the podium is to stay out. I hope Rain gets more points and more penalties, and just hope that he can hang on to P2 of the P3, P2 or P3, I should say. And look at that. Oh, and there you go, there's Phantom. I said about the safety car. Phantom's retired, although he looks like he's retired in the pits. So I think we're okay in terms of a VSC or a safety car. So I think Phantom's had enough.
Yeah, I think you saw him. It was a pretty tough collision he had on the exit of turn 1. It looks like he had rear damage just from where he hit the wall. So I don't think he was going to get much more out of his race.
Ooh, I tell you, that was a very late move from Arthur under the brakes. So I don't think I would be happy about that. But already, look at that. Rain has already extended his lead by 3 seconds. So he doesn't have to worry about the people behind him in terms of the time penalty. And he's only 4.5 seconds behind Jacob. So at the risk of cursing Rain, I think right now it's his race to lose.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that assessment. And
and there you go. Jacob's in the pits. He's doing a late, kind of a 9 laps, 8 laps stint on these softs. Will he come out in P4? No, he's going to lose out to Aros and Kieran as well here. Maybe not Kieran as much. No, just Aros then. So I have to say I'm a bit surprised by that move from Jacob, as Rhino's retired. And that is a DNF. And there's the safety car. There is the safety car that we were just talking about.
We jinxed it. We need to shut our damn mouths.
Well, I'll tell you what. In a way then, we were just saying about what is Jacob doing. I'll tell you what, that has worked out perfectly for him. Because he is going to be on fresh softs against all the guys ahead of him. Now, will we see Arthur and Owen pit for a fresh set of softs? I say a fresh set. They used quite a lot in qualifying, didn't they?
It wasn't too heavily. It'd still probably be the better option, but they weren't too heavily scrubbed, so it might be viable for him.
And Rain's in the pits. Rain is in the pits.
And Arthur as well.
Arthur's in the pits. Owen's in the pits. What about Aros then? Yep, Aros in the pits. He keeps right. Jacob, and of course, stay out. What about Kieran? Kieran is going into the pits. What about Vaughan? Will Vaughan going for a fresh set? So interesting developments here as Vaughan, yes. No, he stays out. Vaughan stays out. Interesting strategy. But just like that, Jacob up into P2. So we have definitely got a race on our hands here.
It's tough to. I think that's if you're Jacob. I was just trying to think before the safety car. If you're committing to the mediums at that point, I don't think the 2-stop is a bit of a weird strategy. I don't think we've seen anybody else run a 2-stop today, so maybe a bit of a hiccup on Jacob's part. But I guess the safety car goes in his favour.
It's kind of nullified that, really, isn't it? And I tell you what, this has definitely worked out for Jake, who had just been lapped, and now he was able to unlap himself, and he'll be able to join the back of the pack. I think it's probably wise for Jake to probably do one more lap and then pit, or will he pit right now? Because if he pits now, he might not make it out in front of the safety car, but he does pit. So it'll be interesting to see if Jake can actually catch the back, because what lap did the safety car come out? Was it lap 28 or was it lap 27 the safety car came out?
I think it was 27, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so Jake's got a lot of catching up to do if he wants to get to the back of that pack, because the safety car is already coming around the final corner. And Jake is just exiting turn 1. Cool. I'll tell you what though, I am looking forward to this, because we have got the fastest 4 drivers in P1 to P4. Rain, of course, judging by the pace he's shown today, is got to be the clear favourite, but we've seen the kind of errors creep into his game. He'll be hoping to nip that in the bud, because if he wins today, that will probably be the best drive in 7GR history.
Oh, has to be.
Yeah, we've had over 100 races now. This could quite easily the best drive from a single driver in a single race, 100%. But you can't rule people like Jacob Arthur and Owen out, because we've seen that the DRS is very, very strong around here, especially to build a train up, and the slipstream as well is very good. So if you can stay in that dirty air, you're not, fumbled too much by it. And of course, the main point as well is that Rain does have that 3-second penalty hanging over his head.
He's going to have to get that gap up really quick, but the field, as we know, is going to be stacked up. So, can he do it in 6 laps? It's going to be tough, especially in a small track like Austria.
That is the pressure, because not only has Rain got to he's got to go fast, but this is where the pressure comes into it. Can he keep it on the track as well as, extend that 3 seconds? This will definitely be a test of Rain's mettle and his championship pedigree. I don't think he's in the title fight this season, but it will certainly put a marker down for future races and future championships if he can win here today. And the safety car does stay up for one more lap, so a reprieve for Jake then, who will be able to catch up to the back of the pack. But it's also one less lap that Rain has to pull out a gap on the cars behind.
Yeah, it's a tough for Rain, but listen, I mean, anything is possible at this point, considering the pace we've seen from Rain. It's been nothing short of spectacular. But as I said, very, very small track like Austria, he's gonna have to have that surgical drive just to get the gap above 3 seconds.
Yeah.
We saw he was raring to go there as well. He was wheel to wheel, almost passing the safety car. So he's very excited. He's very jittery almost. He knows what's on the table. He knows it's doable.
Yeah. So then, before the safety car comes in, we'll just do a quick rundown of the order so far. So Rain is P1, Jacob P2, Arthur is P3, Owen P4, Vaughan sitting up there in P5, the first of the Tier 2 drivers. Safety car confirmed to be in this lap. Kays is P6, Aros up into P7, Kieran P8, Perfect Paulie P9, Arulian the last of the points scorers in P10, and then we've got Bio, Elite Risk, Jake, David and Cooper, and Safe Master bringing up the rear. Right then, on we go with Rain. How soon will he go? He's going a bit too quick at the moment, because the safety car isn't in yet. He's just weaving and warming up those tyres. I wonder how much of a last gasp this will be. Ooh. And there he goes. There Rain goes. He's off. It looks like he's caught Jacob napping a little bit, but it doesn't look like anyone in the top. But Owen is very close to Arthur, but no luck into turn 1. As did we have any shenanigans into the last corner?
Owen picks up a 3-second penalty, unfortunately.
Oh, and Owen, there you go, Owen. That's one less driver Rain has to worry about his penalty. So it's just Jacob and Arthur left that he has to worry about in terms of penalties. And Vaughan, I hate to say it, but Vaughan right now is a bit of a sitting duck on those mediums. Having said that, he's got the buffer of K's, because the game is telling me that Case is on 10-lap-old soft tyres. So Vaughan does have a little bit of a buffer.
It's looking strong for Jacob. Jacob seems to be keeping up pace with Rain, but who knows?
It does, as I was about to say. Rain just a half a second ahead of Jacob. Then Jacob's been very impressive today. He's always been near the front, so to be hopefully a statement of authority as Aros has got past Kays at the back there. Jacob 104.7, almost quicker than some people's qualifying times. As the fuel comes down, the lap times come down, and Arthur is already a second behind the front two. That is definitely surprising, considering how fast Arthur's been and already won 4 races this year. That is definitely surprising from Arthur as he comes under attack from Owen.
That gap just getting smaller and smaller as well between Rain and Jacob.
Yep, time running out for Rain to win the race. I think either way, whether he finishes first or second, I think there's a quite easy candidate for driver of the day. But he's got to keep it in those white lines. And the question is, how many warnings does Jacob already have? You know, that is the main thing. Rain will be hoping that the dirty air will make Jacob run wide and give him a penalty as well. And if that happens, as it stands, Arthur would be the winner. So don't go anywhere.
It really has been anybody's game today.
This is anybody's race from the top 4. You'd think one of them would win it.
I'm just noticing as well, just as you're saying, Jacob seems to be taking the corners very gingerly and very careful, just to be sure he doesn't pick up another warning or perhaps a penalty.
Yeah, I think that's all he needs to do. As Owen is up into P3 then. He has overtaken Arthur, but Arthur will get the DRS. He'll be able to stab back at him. Will Arthur have a lunge into turn 4? I'll tell you, that's very peculiar. Owen only up into gear 7 there, usually up into gear 8. Up into there, so Owen running that engine very ragged.
I'm glued. I'm actually glued to my TV at the moment, just watching this. It's just, it's crazy. I'm not like, I'm sure you're switching between drivers, but I have not switched off Jacob. I'm not gonna lie. I have to. It's just crazy to see both their drivers on top 4. I'm sure sweaty hands from both of them at the moment. They know what's on the line. It's just the gap getting smaller and smaller, but Rain staying ahead. But that penalty just looming over him.
Yeah, I think in a way we've seen a bit of pace in the past from Jacob, so hopefully this could be an almost coming of age race, as it were, for Jacob here in 7GR, as he is putting Rain under tremendous pressure. If there had been no safety car, I think this was easily Rain's race, because Jacob would have had old tyres. Well, he would have had fresh soft tyres, but he would have been behind. But right now, as we approach the start of lap 36, we're now halfway through lap 35, a lap and a half to go then, before the conclusion of this race. As it stands, Jacob will be promoted to P1, and Arthur is going to be promoted up into P2. As it stands, it looks like Rain might not even be on the podium. What a shame that would be.
I'd hate to have that after the race he's had, but it's tough. That penalty is tough, especially just like the grid stacked up after safety car on such a small track. It's tough for him, but.
And look at that, the luck of the Jake up into P10 then. Oh, he's made his way back, hasn't he? Vaughan, I was about to say Vaughan keeping that position, but he's just lost out to Kieran there for P6.
I think here goes Jacob on the outside or the inside of Rain.
And I wonder if that's Rain letting him by to let him have the win on the track. I think Rain knows that he can't win. I think that is Rain conceding the position and letting Jacob win the victory on track. It's been a very, very good race from the top 4, really. And even Vaughan, look at that, Vaughan is back up into P5 on those old mediums, as Rain has let Owen by as well. What is going on here? Is Rain
I think
low
he
on
knows.
fuel?
I think he's just paying attention to his gap and just letting the boys pass on a.
Very straight, but distractions away. Jacob is your winner. Jacob, which I believe is his first win in 7GR. Congratulations to Jacob. Arthur takes P2 then, and Owen rounds off the podium. And Rain, Rain takes P4. And unfortunately, Vaughan loses P5, I think, due to the penalties, but a very strong drive from Vaughan. Well, that came round quick, didn't it?
Very quick.
It was.
I was just saying before the race started. I'm not sure if we caught it on comms or on the stream, but I was just saying I wasn't a fan of Austria because it sometimes can drag a bit. But that was the opposite. That was a spectacular race.
It was, and the game has given Rain the driver of the day, and I don't think either of us could disagree with that.
Very, very hard to argue with that. It was simply a masterclass. There's no other way to describe that drive. It was unfortunate with the penalty because that was Rain's race to win, but that by far is arguably the best performance I've ever seen on any F1 game.
I have to say, I may have to strip this win off Jacob after that podium celebration. That was truly awful.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, brilliant race from Rain, but also brilliant race from our podium boys. And I'll break down the order here now. We have, of course, XRL Jacob finishing P1 is Alfa Romeo. We have Arthur P2, and finishing off that double podium for Alfa Romeo, we have Owen in his Alfa Romeo. We have that spectacular drive from Rain in P4. We have Alvaros up from P12 into P5. We have Kieran P6. We have Vaughn P7. We have K's P8. We have Elite Risks P9 after starting in 17th. We have Aurelian P10, excuse me. We have Jake P11. We have Perfect Polly P12 after his return. We have Bio P13. We have David and Kuva P14. And if Cody's wants to let me scroll, yeah, there we go. We have F1 Safe Master P15. We have Rhino P16, and we have Phantom P17.
Yep, what a race that was in the end then. Truly spectacular. Couldn't really take your eyes off that one, could you? The top four gave us a race to remember. Congratulations goes to Jacob on his first win. Tough luck for Rain, but what a drive that was from Rain. What an absolute masterclass that was. It's a shame in a way that he couldn't pull away from Jacob, but I think Jacob definitely showing the speed to be up there. So then, I think that will likely do us for tonight. If you've enjoyed tonight, make sure you come back tomorrow at the same time, around 8:30, where Tier 2 will be racing around Interlagos, Brazil. Another driver's favourite track. So, before we go, any words from yourself, Lions?
I think I've said my piece. I think just absolute, phenomenal drive from Rain. Brilliant drive from all of our boys at the front. Jacob, Arthur, Owen, and of course Rain coming up from the back. Brilliant race. I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. There was so much going on. Apart from the safety car near the end, very clean race and some spectacular overtaking. I think we saw some 3 wide over cars going into turn 3 there, but I think a brilliant drive from everybody and just a spectacular show of just talent and entertainment from the boys at the front.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So again, tomorrow, Tier 2, Brazil. If not, Thursday as well. We've got Tier 3, where me and Lions will be racing around Monza. Again, thank you guys very much for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.